So Salum scored a try. No, Lee Jones.
Lee Jones and Tom McQueen.
Five 0 half time, wasn't it? Yeah.
A bit of a long way around.
Nah. Don't know what that, because all the players are going to go on the way on the other side for that. Our commentary's been on the Aberdeen Stadium.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Oh, I better say because
Highlights of the crowd just watching it on the screen at Aberdeen Stadium, watching the Hong Kong game.
did well to stream that one thing.
Next game coming up, UAE and Malaysia.
So we're on to Pool B, Malaysia with their debut in this Singapore leg. Malaysia, the stars of the Indian tournament, finishing fourth. And a bright start here from Malaysia. It's Anwarul Hafiz who breaks to Zulkifli, who's got loads of pace. Zulkifli, and an easy peasy start there for Malaysia. Zulkifli runs in his 8th try of the series, and Malaysia with a cracking start. And weren't they impressive in Mumbai, Dino, with a victory over the Koreans in the quarter-final? A game that I would like to remind you that I picked. I told you they would beat the Koreans on that Sunday morning.
Mike, you did, and I must say that the Malaysians, they're quite predictable. They like to run the game, but when it comes to the physicality and with that, watching that conversion go over 7 points to 0 to Malaysia, they're an exciting team to watch, Mike, and anything can happen on their day.
Well, they've got a couple of Fijians, and that flair really does carry over. The Malaysians well used to playing with a load of Fijians in the domestic competitions, and you can really see that they think about the game, don't they? They love the open play. Faruz to restart play. Nice high kick off there that Aparosa gets underneath, but it falls to the UAE team. Cyrus, who finds himself in reverse gear. Adele, who decides to put a big boot in. Now there's a couple of men in offside positions here. Keen as mustard with the chase, but they'll play advantage for the offside play. It's Faruz who gets it up to Williame. Takes the ball to the line. Aparosa draws the man as well.
Beautiful skills.
Nazaruddin. And Nazaruddin decides to go all the way himself and slides on in. And another pretty easy try there from Nazaruddin.
But Mike, you look at those facets of play and take nothing away from the UAE side, but that's what's a good classic textbook bit of play in sevens. It's just let the ball do the work, take it from one side, and the space sometimes occur. But that was absolutely brilliant. And like you said earlier on, Mike, once these teams start getting back into their plates and the bowl sections, and the UAE will probably, possibly end up playing against the Indonesians, and I'm sure they'll be, very excited about those things as well.
It's pretty tough yards for the UAE team now. You can see that a lot of these players have only played 6 months of rugby. They started the game 6 months ago, so there's a lot of laws they don't even understand or know. So you saw there a couple of the players. I think it was Saeed, a young 19-year-old who's got loads of pace, but well and truly 10 metres ahead of the kick. And as you say, the Malaysians just letting the ball do the talking. Nazaruddin, with his long striding lithe body, looks a bit like a Fijian himself. Hasn't gone 10, but UAE decided to play on his Shahir, who really has shown some glimpses of genius during the series. Shahir was great in front of his home crowd in Malaysia. Outside to Hafiz, who's taken out by Abbas, who looks like a promising player as well, the curly mop. Hafiz from the UITM Lions. So Adele will put the ball into this line out. Rumour has it. Oh, beautiful from Nazaruddin. Read the throw brilliantly. Shahir ducking to his left and right. Throws a huge pass out. Viliame decides to leave it for Zulkifli, who threw a lovely looking pass, but unfortunately it wasn't going to connect with Hafiz.
No, you got to be. I suppose when you're up 7 points and it's not even quite reaching the halftime mark, so you'd want to try and get as many points as you can and try and play something similar. So in terms of that, it means like they get the ball, get the distribution, use the width, and the space would occur. It seemed like Malaysia were just trying a little bit of differential, so it's just not working for them.
There's Adele, this young 19-year-old, 18-year-old. Been one of their best players, feisty little character. So we have a scrum, not straight. Nazaruddin, he's got some real flair, this boy. Playing opposite Aparosa there in the front row. Scored the second try for the Malaysian team, 12-0 ahead at the moment. Promising attacking scrum here. Farouz decides to go blind. He's knocked the ball on, so we'll play a scrum. Oh, we talked about the international rugby earlier, Dino, with the games late from Europe tonight, but also a big match in Hong Kong today as well.
Yeah, there's a big event back in Hong Kong at the moment, and all week the Toulouse from France are playing Racing Metro, who's been magnificently doing coaching clinics and been great ambassadors for their club. So, and they play each other at the Aberdeen Stadium. And as we talked about that, Saul, the former 15s captain, scores under the post for Malaysia. So
that's their third try just before half time from Shahir. He's been really impressive at times during the series, particularly in Malaysia where they won the plate. In Thailand they were a little subdued. They lost to Thailand in the plate semi-final, and then bang in Mumbai Sunday morning, beating Korea in the quarterfinals. Lost to Japan in the semi sadly, but then went on to lose to Sri Lanka for the third and fourth place. So a fourth place position. A good dividend for them. Farouz with his second conversion, making the score 19 points to 0. So Farouz will restart play. Missing a few key players this weekend, the Malaysians, Hafiz Zainal, Amin Jamaluddin, one of their bullocking props. Oh, that's a lovely, oh! It almost looked too good to be true, didn't it, the pass, but Adele was in fresh air there. The referee decided it was just a bit too suspicious more than anything and blows the whistle for half-time. Sad for UAE. It would have been great to see Adele. He looks a little frustrated there, doesn't he? The young fella, 18 years old. Finally got some space and away he was going. But,
He'd be talking about that for the rest of the night. He would have probably said to his teammates, 70 or 80 metre try, not thinking about there's one last defender in front of him yet to come.
True. So score at half-time, 19 points to 0 for Malaysia over UAE. Cyrus shapes to kick. Instead throws a pass to Abbas. Nowhere to go for him, so he sets it up nicely. Adele decides to go himself. A little knock, went backwards, this referee Mackay. The man they call Hollywood. Adele again to Cyrus. Throws a pass that may have been forward. Yes, again the player ahead of the ball. He's done that a couple of times, Saeed. He's just a bit too keen off the mark. He's got to adhere to those offside lines and the line of the ball. Cyrus, who's quickly become one of the most experienced players they've got, played 15s for UAE. So it's left a pretty good chance here for Malaysia. And it's going to be a cracking game, the next pool game here between Korea and Malaysia. Malaysia, of course, beating Korea in that quarterfinal in Mumbai, and the Koreans coming with a crack team as we see them go blindside here, the Malaysians. And Viliami decides to change direction to Zulkifli. Out it goes to another flyer, Aswad, who's just got on the field and just shows his pace there. Steps outside his marker and down he goes. Beautiful run there from Aswad. Fair try.
Needed a double check. He slid on in, and the corner flag had a bit of a shake on the way through, but referees indicated it as a try. But the flying, the UAE is very keen in anything to try and get up there to make those tackles, and I think that probably was a problem. You may see it on the replay, but the outside back shot up probably a little bit too quick, and just one little jink and around the outside of the Malaysian player into the corner.
Tough one for Fairuz. Gives it a wallop, but it looks like it's going to be short. 24 points to 0. Changes for UAE as we see this lovely play, and it was a great pass from Zulkifli. He judged things and headed towards the outside marker, which kind of sucked Saeed in, and that gave just an extra inch or two for Aswad to exploit as well as he slides all the way to the running track. So probably a bit of road rash there for his troubles. Fairuz, low and hard to the UAE player, who Ghulam.
And that takes our score out to 24 points to 0. The referee's got time off there, Mike. I mean, what would you say to the UAE players to try and keep them motivated by... I don't think they were too far from it in their first game, but being 24-0 down, and, you know, they are a new bunch at playing the game, Mike.
Yeah, no, you can see the frustration on Apelli there. I think, for me, it's very much defence on Saturday, isn't it? Limiting the scores, working on your patterns, working on your systems, working on your fitness, making sure your shape's good in defence, because some of these teams are formidable. And then when you get to Sunday, the bowl competition, then you get the chance to flourish, show your wares and attack. But you see here, these sort of tackles they're falling off at the moment from Juma. That's not going to make Coach Apelli happy at all. It's poor defence, and that's where really they need to buck their ideas on and increase their efforts on the Saturday for me.
Well, I think as you said, Mike, you know, day one's always going to be probably a word better than baptism of fire. They will come across their peer groups on Sunday, and maybe that shrug-off tackle that you tried to attempt there into the Malaysian try scorer might pay off to be the most critical tackle in his peer groups on Sunday, but we'll see too. So unsuccessful with the kick, and kick he does, just like football, substitute straight off. And here we go. Did you see the incident right out here? Just shrugging it off, just got body position, just get close enough to make the effective tackle.
Yeah, he's a nice player, Aswad, isn't he? A couple of runs there, and just a little shimmy enough at his pace to get round the defenders. Plenty of gas. There's Fairuz, kicks high and handsome. Azizan's underneath it, as well as Nazruddin. So UAE again with Cyrus. Again, it's a kick, and again Saeed's in front of the kicker. I mean, what do you say? Someone's just got to go and slap him and say, "Stay behind the kicker. You will get us penalised." For all the will in the world, Saeed, you've got to just stay behind it, don't chase it. So it's Fairuz to take the tap. It's going blind. So Faiz has just come on the field for Shahir. Here he is again, Aswad. He makes it look easy, doesn't he? He's a flyer, but he's got some magic, hasn't he, in his wand.
Oh, just
Honourable Aswad. He's a glider.
Just absolutely glided through that gap, and he just sort of did a bit of a show and showed the ball on the outside, done the dummy, and just straight through. Just made it look so easy, Mike.
So Fairuz gets the kicking duties back and slots one nicely. So this is a bit of a stroll in the park for the Malaysians. Oh, I like some of the players they've brought in here. Oh, this is just beautiful. Watch this from Aswad. Shapes. Doesn't really even dummy a pass. And there's some real fizz in those boots, that's for sure. From Aswad. A hat trick for him against the UAE. Azizan looks full of energy. Unfortunately slapping the ball on there though. Referee Mackay keeping up with play nicely in the wet conditions.
Old Faiz down at the hooker position is just giving a bit of experience to his younger counterpart there from a kickoff there. So, and I'm sure Faiz has probably taken a lot of kickoffs in his day being a fly half.
Well, yeah, a lot of the Cobra boys not available this weekend. Faiz from Cobra, but Jamaluddin taking part in the Cobra 10s. Another great tournament in Asia. I tell you what, there's so much rugby on in Asia at the moment. It's great to see, isn't it? We had the SEC 7s last weekend here. Brilliant to see these tournaments going and people enjoying rugby in Asia. Zulkifli, Fairuz, Nazruddin, and this is Azizan. Throws a risky pass. Cyrus is up there with a sniffing of an intercept. Here's Aswad again, who's loving his time with the ball in hand, isn't he? And why not? That's 4 tries for Aswad. And gives it the football celebration too. I thought he was going to put the jersey over his head there for a moment. He's just too cool for school. he wanted to cool down, running 20 metres for another try. And what a find he is for Malaysia, Anwarul Aswad.
It's great to see that these the young guys coming through the systems, and it's actually brilliant to get involved. And you got your experienced players like Saud and Fayez and all of them out there. So you can see here, look at it's just natural ability, which is difficult to teach. Show and tell, and those long stride legs. And
a lot of these Malaysians just have the images of Fijians in their style of play, don't they? It's the way they run, the way they shape. And that's a very convincing victory for Malaysia first out against UAE. What a cracker of a game it's going to be when Malaysia take on Korea. 43 points to 0 to Malaysia over UAE.